Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching today. So I'm going to show you how I've made this gatefold shutter card, and it's a New Year's card and also like a thank you card, so I'm sending a few of them out this year. So on the front it says go away 2021. I actually wanted bye bye 2021, but I don't have anything, or goodbye 2021, but I've got nothing like that. So this was the closest I had, and this was actually in my whatever the weather stamp set, and it says rain rain go away, and I just kind of masked that rain section and just went with the go away. So it still works, and I think for a lot of people the go away 2021 is actually going to be, you know, more true for them. But I know there'll be lots of people who've actually probably had a very nice 2021 and lovely things have happened. So you can have whatever you want on the front of this, but you just take the belly band off, and then when you open this one up it says hello 2022, happy new year. Stands up really nicely. You've got the belly band you can just display in front, and then you've got all this space on the back. Now in the video you will see me actually stamping a different scene in here because I was going down with a different idea, and then after I'd done it I decided I didn't like it, and I show you how I change it. So that will be, there's a little bit of an edit in this one, but you'll see how I do all of this, and I thought it was quite nice to leave in that kind of change in case anybody else does similar to what I did. It's really easy to do because you've got all the dies there, so let me show you how. So this is the 5x7 shutter card die set. I also had the 6x6, but that one I'm sure sold out, and I think this one's still available. But I've gone for the 5x7 today. Everything will be linked as always in the description box. And then for the papers, I've used the same two that I shared in the pop-up card. So I used, this was the original Twist and Pop paper pad, and I used that one on that card. But I said if you've got this one, which was the other Twist and Pop pad, this one would look good. So I've used this one today. So there's loads of scenes in these. They're really nice, and they're, you know, perfect because it's all done for you. So first of all, you want to die cut the largest piece, which will make your 5x7 gatefold. So in the set here, you'll see you've got this large die. So this is the only die which will mean that you need a large die cutting machine. If you are happy to just make your own gatefold, which is dead easy, it's a piece of 10x5 and you score along the 10-inch side at 2.5 and 7.5, or you can buy pre-bought gatefold 5x7s, then everything else will fit through a standard die machine. Because I know some people don't have a large die machine, but they still wanted this die set. They just do this bit themselves. So that's the gatefold, once you just fold on those score lines. And then you want to choose your pattern paper, so to mat the sides. So I'm going to do that first because I don't want to confuse with all of these pieces. So we'll just stick with these ones here. So these are going to cover the front and the inside, and I've stuck with the same paper all the way through. So in the set here, you get this thin one, and it will be the perfect layer to cover the sides of your gatefold. So I'm going to stick the green and then the pink, and then I've got the green and the pink, and this follows the pattern paper. So you'll see it's green, it goes through to your oranges, and then it finishes with your reds and your pinks. So I've just basically, the piece that I've got going in the middle is going to continue the whole scene. So first of all, I'm going to stick those all down. Okay, so this is all stuck down. So these are starting to really, you know, come nice and strong now. Then you've got this large die here. I've just laid this down just so you can see how all the dies work really. So there's that thin one that we've just cut, and you can see it fits within that one. Then you've got this one which fits within the middle bit. So this is your layer for there. Now because I've used a white card, I could just stamp directly onto this, but I want to add a bit of reinforcement to this because it is quite thin. It's a 250 GSM. So I've just die cut again in white, and this is what I'm going to stamp the hidden message in. And then I've also cut it again, but in the holographic card, because this is going to go on the back. And then I've just cut a smaller piece by hand to go on top of there. And that's where I'm going to then have another little sentiment. So that's now going to really reinforce with all those pieces on there. You know, it's going to strengthen the middle of that card. But I don't want to, I'm not going to stick them down yet. I'm just showing you the pieces to cut because we want to stamp this separately later on. So that's those three pieces. Then I've cut my shutter pieces. So I've done one in pink, one in green. They're going to go on each side. I just thought it was a little bit different. So this will go over the top, like so. And then this will go all over there, and we're going to cut our circle into this piece here. So I'm actually going to be putting this piece of white over here. So that's the middle part. So you can see how the colour changes from the green into the orange and then through to the pinks and the reds. But I'm going to pop this over the top because I want to stamp the Happy New Year down here. So we can stick this piece next. So this is the 2 other rectangle dies that you'll have. You can see I've used the large one there and then the next size down. So I'll pop them to one side. That way I know I've gone through all of the dies with you. So this is a, well, it is a paper. It's 180 GSM, but it is still a nice weight. So you could probably get away with it on its own. But this is just going to reinforce, and it means I can stamp onto this piece. So glue these together. And then this is the piece that we're going to cut the aperture into. Now you get a lot of circle dies because you've got like the larger ones are for the belly band, so I've already kind of got that here, and then the smaller ones are for this panel here. So if I just give you the measurement, then you know what ones to kind of use. So that's about 3-inch diameter, and then it's the next size up. But this is the 3-inch diameter is the one that I'm going to cut into this piece with, and then I cut both of them together to give me this little thin frame here. So it's up to you where you cut this. You could have it in the middle so that when the shutter opens, you know, it's there. But because I've got that Happy New Year sentiment, I'm going to bring this more towards the top, making sure I give my frame room. And you also need to make sure that these don't go off, you know, kind of the top there. So about, I'd say, 1/2 inch from the top is where you want to be if you're going higher with it. So I'm just going to tack this into place and get that one die cut. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment. So it's the same Happy New Year. I just think it's a really nice font, and the layout of it is really nice as well. And it fits perfectly down here. So the Happy New Year is going to go there. So I'm just going to choose a colour and get that stamped. So I'm really happy with that, and I'm going to be adding some stars and a bit more sparkle to that piece. So then what I've done is I've just placed this white piece in this piece here, just so it's got a nice border. So then I'm going to grab this piece and just lay it over the top, so you've got it in the middle of this, you know, this folded 5-inch piece here. And when you're happy that you've got an equal amount on both sides, I'm going to grab a pencil and just draw around this circle so I know where I can stamp my image. Just do it lightly so you can rub it out. But now I've got this piece, so I can heat emboss this, or I can just put this in my stamp positioner, or you can put this whole piece in if you're just stamping directly onto that. So there's a lot of ways to put this together, and you can also double this up as well. Just check out the playlist because there's so many ways. So I decided to stamp the hello in the pink, and then I've heat embossed the 2022. I've been mixing my ink pads quite a lot lately to get the perfect match. So I wanted to pick out this more raspberry kind of colour here. And I got that by stamping the fuchsia and then the plum jam. And it just seemed to give me a nice match. And that's using the Harmony Spectrum Noir. They're the quick dry. Now I've decided I'm going to have the green on this side and the pink on that side, because I think that's going to look quite nice. So you want those ready, and then with this piece here, you want to get yourself some foam strips. So I've got these ones here, and I'll link them below because they're really handy, and I've used them in quite a lot of my card styles. So I think this is going to be the right length as well. Oh no, I need to trim a little bit off. Anyway, so you just want to pop a strip along the top there. Along the bottom, add another strip, but you can also cover a little bit more up here so it doesn't dip. So you can see how these need this space here. So I can come down a little bit actually. So I can cover that with more foam. So I just don't want it to dip. So I'm just going to pop one across like so. And then I'll do the other one like that. So take the backing off. Just make sure it lines up with the top and the bottom, so it's nice and flush, and the card stands up like so. Then I'm going to take these pieces, and you want them to lock together like this. So you can put them both together and then just slide this in. It goes right across like so. You want to make sure that when they join together, that join is in the middle of this here. So you want to also make sure that the folds here run parallel with the side here. So if you fold them over, each one, you can see that's where it needs to be, and then you can just kind of move this up or down. Now they won't fully join, that's how it needs to be, because if they completely join, they will end up kind of like buckling, and you'll just get not a very nice finish if the card's opened and closed a lot. So by doing it this way, you'll get a much nicer finish. So you want to make sure these are both folded down. I'm just going to keep some pressure in the middle there, and then I'm going to add my glue down these tabs on each side. You could do one at a time if you prefer. So this should all be parallel, and now we can close this over, and you want it to stick to this one. And then, because I've added my glue there, just push that down a little bit. And fold that one down. And just hold that there for a second. Don't be tempted to open it until it's completely dry. So I've changed it a little bit, or I am changing it. So I'm not happy with, I think there's too much writing here. I think there needs to be an image of some kind. So I have cut this piece of 3.5 by 3.5. I then just popped it in there, drew a circle again in the pencil, and then stamped this image here. This is from a very old creative stamping issue, but I thought she's got that kind of pose that she's, you know, greeting or welcoming, and I just thought it would work well for Hello 2022. And straight away, as soon as I popped it in, I've coloured it just with the two colours that are in this card, and it just looks so much better. Some of you might prefer the other way, let me know in the comments, but I just thought I'd keep this in and show you how you can, if you've done what I've done and you're thinking, do you know what, I don't like it, this is an easy way. You just want to make sure that your cardstock's just slightly smaller than the width of this piece here. And obviously I stuck foam behind here, so I can just slide that in. So I'm going to just add some of my quick grab glue, or should I put the Calcott? I might actually add the Calcott instead. I'm just going to put a little bit there. I don't want to go right to the edges, and then I can carefully, if I keep it tilted upwards, then the glue's not going to go everywhere. There we go. I can just move that a little bit, check nothing's coming out. Just going to let that dry, and then I'm just going to slide these back in. I literally just, if you pop a little curve in it when you go to put it back in, it'd be a bit easier. And then I just want to make sure that one goes under the other, so I'm just going to use my tweezers just to lift that like so. You only need one, and now you'll see we get that locking. And you would never know that I had made that change, but I'm much happier with this one now. So I've just edited this change into the video, so it's probably going to hop back to the original image while I do the belly band, but then you'll see this again at the end. I've die cut the pink in the largest, and then I've die cut it again in the holographic using the largest circle, and I've also used the stitched detail, so they're going to stick together like so. So I'll do those two first. So just have a play around, you know, there's no kind of rule. You might just want to do one circle with a stamped sentiment. That one will go there, and then I'm going to pop these up on some foam. So that's using the next circle, and then I've cut it in green with the stitch detail that sits in there, and I'm going to pop that on foam. I've done this in black because I want the focus to be on the pink and the embossing, you know, Hello 2022. This is in black, so it's like, yeah, go on, go away, we've had enough of you now. But I am going to add a couple of stars just to kind of fill some of this a little bit. So I'm going to add some foam and get these ones stuck down. So the belly band, you can, if you're not doing them in two different colours, then one will go across here, and you'll see that folds around to go that way. But I'm going to do this so that we've got half and half. So I'm just going to add my glue onto that piece, and then just sit this one over the top, and I'm going to have that one at the back, and then bring round. So I'm going to add a fold into this now. I've also stamped a message there, wishing you health, happiness and love. And then that one's just going to kind of cover it. When I tend to do a belly band, I don't do an envelope. I'll be giving this probably by hand, but it will probably still fit into a normal envelope. If not, make a box envelope or one of my bouncy envelopes. They will all work as well. But I'm just going to now wrap this around, just so you've got kind of equal amount on each side. You don't want it too tight that they can't get it off. And then I'm just going to add my glue to there, pop that in place, and then this is going to cover the join. So we just got a little bit of the pink and the green there. So just add my glue through the middle there, and then just sit that down over the top. So I'm just going to let that all dry. So thank you for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed this New Year's thank you gatefold shutter card. I love making these. Again, it's nice to pull out these older styles because it's just really fun to create with. All of the measurements is done for you, so all you've then got to worry about is, you know, how you want to decorate this. Love the big belly band, so that holds it all together, and that's how I like to give them if I'm giving them by hand. Otherwise, like I said before, just pop it in a box envelope or one of the bouncy envelopes and that will be fine. And then you've got all your space there on the back. So as always, I will link everything that I've used in the description box below, and I'll be back again very soon with more tutorials. Take care. Bye.